Hello, everyone. So today, we're checking out a new research project that's actually pretty interesting. It's called DreamID-Omni, and it's from Tsinghua University in collaboration with ByteDance. This project focuses on a unified framework for human-centric audio-video generation. Take a look at all these examples on the page right here. Every single one uses a reference character image combined with a reference voice. Those two elements get combined to generate different presentations of that character speaking different lines in the video output. So for example, you've got that popular Will Smith demo over here.
This tank top is exactly what you need for this summer. Place your order now.
It uses him as the reference with his own audio as input. Check this line out.
Sorry, I'm going to end your life right now.
Now, I'll be honest with you, even for this cherry-picked demo from their page, the character movement isn't supernatural. It's still pretty early stage, nowhere near the level you saw with CDance 2.0 that blew up the internet. But here's the thing, this proves that with a relatively small parameter model, if you add components for character image referencing and audio reference, you can absolutely pull off video output like this. If you've played around with video and audio AI models a lot, like LTX 2.3 or other audio-video generation tools, you need both visual and audio components working together. And sometimes, when you're working with a specific character, you'll even need to train a LoRa for that character in LTX. But here, from ByteDance and Tsinghua University, they've created a proof of concept showing you can just do referencing and still get pretty strong character and audio results. ByteDance has been working on reference video from a single image for quite a while, and they've applied this to a lot of their open-source experimental projects. So I definitely think they have the technique and mindset to develop this, and we've seen this kind of design inherit into CDance 2.0 as well. Now let's head to the GitHub page here, DreamID-Omni. They've open-sourced the code so you can run the base pipeline in Python, and their model's already uploaded to Hugging Face. Check out the Hugging Face page here. It's pretty simple, showing all the same information from the GitHub repo. But here's where things get interesting. The model files are huge. We're talking 46 gigabytes, so you'll need that much VRAM or RAM, combining them with offload if you're running this locally. When I checked it out, I found it's not really suitable for most local PCs because it's running in FP32 precision. So I decided to convert it myself to BF16 and FP8 models. After downsizing, the BF16 version is about 23 gigabytes, so you'll need around that much runtime memory. The FP8 version comes in at around 11 gigabytes for runtime. You can check out the files here. So that's the progress I made yesterday trying DreamID-Omni locally. I saw in their GitHub repo that RunningHub already has a ComfyUI implementation. RunningHub is a cloud GPU provider specifically for ComfyUI. But I found their ComfyUI custom nodes have settings perfect for their server, not so much for other servers or local machines. The issue is they use flash attention, and if you're not running Linux, a lot of you won't have that available. And flash attention is built right into the DreamID-Omni pipeline. They also included a converter for the models to BF16, which works great on their servers where they have tons of storage and memory. But for us consumers, not so much. Sure, I could convert it myself, which I did with BF16 and FP8, but I'm guessing not many people can load that 46 gigabyte beast into runtime. So I've pre-made these converted versions and published the quantized files in my repo. I also modified the RunningHub custom nodes and pipeline so it can run without flash attention. As you all know, ComfyUI uses PyTorch SDPA attention by default, and some of you might have flash attention or Sage attention installed. Similar to how we run WAN 2.2, I've implemented all three attention types into the model loader, along with BF16 and FP8 precision options. The original RunningHub model loader doesn't give you any choice. No BF16, no FP8, nothing. It's just a black box showing the pipeline name and that's it. In my modified version, you'll have drop-down menus to choose BF16, FP8, or FP32, plus different attention backends. For the model download section, this isn't an official ComfyUI repackaged repo, so it doesn't use safe tensors for text encoders, diffusion models, and VAE. Instead, it needs the tokenizer and other files from the repo. This is built on top of WAN 2.25b models. So you'll need the T5-XXL text encoder files and WAN 2.2 VAE models. In the GoGo subfolder under UMT 5-XXL, you'll find tokenizer JSON files that are absolutely required. People reported missing file errors, and it's usually because they didn't properly download the tokenizer from Google UMT5. You'll also need the WAN 2.2 VAE, but here's the key. You don't need those 3 diffusion PyTorch safe tensor files. Those 3 split files are the WAN 2.25b base models, and we're not using them. What we do need is the last row, the model T5XXLBF16. That's our text encoder. For the diffusion models, if you're using my repo, you've got BF16 and FP8 options. Or if you want to go crazy, you can try the original FP32 from the DreamID-Omni repo. Just follow the file structure, and you'll be good to go. Lastly, you need the audio for the extended VAEs, specifically the audio VAE. DreamID-Omni uses audio VAE for decoding, which outputs native speaking characters in the video. This isn't lip-syncing or face masking like old talking avatar tech. It's genuinely generating speech. Here's the file structure you need. Under the Models folder, create a DreamID-Omni folder. Inside, you'll store the DreamID-Omni diffusion model. I've got BF16 running in mine. The audio folder contains the audio VAE, and within that, extended VAE's subfolder are the 2 files for audio decoding and audio VAE. Then you've got the WAN 2.25b models folder. Important, don't download the WAN 2.25b diffusion models. From the 5b repo, we only need the text encoder and VAE. And don't forget the GoGo folder with the tokenizer files. This is crucial. I've already seen people make mistakes and get runtime errors from this. This is how the pipeline's designed. We're not merging those 3 files together like ComfyUI does natively. Back to the screen. Let's play with this. You can follow the instructions or use Hugging Face CLI to auto-download. I've pre-created those command prompts, so just copy and paste them. Whether you choose FP32, BF16, or FP8 for the diffusion model, all 3 are available. Download them directly into the ComfyUI subfolder structure using Hugging Face CLI or download manually. I've also included example workflows that I've modified to work with my custom nodes. These handle single-person and two-person setups, following the research paper's implementation. In my ComfyUI layout, the difference is clear. The original Running Hub Omni model loader has no choices. It just runs one way, like a black box. But since we're running locally, we need variety. In my version, if you put both BF16 and FP8 models in the DreamID-Omni folder, you'll see both options in the dropdown after refreshing ComfyUI. For attention backends, I've added SDPA, Sage Attention, and Flash Attention. Personally, I like Sage Attention, no question. I've also modified the sampler options with more choices than the original repo. Originally, you only had sampling steps, width, height, and seed. But I added the solver name. That's your sampling method. You can choose UniPC, C, DPM++, or Euler, just like with WAN 2.2. I've also added text encoder offload and diffusion release options, so you can unload the diffusion model after generation. And for output, notice we're using ComfyUI's native save video node, not video combine. That's because we've already combined video and audio together in the output. Use the native save audio node for audio. When I developed Muse Studio recently, I tested this native save video node, and it performs more stable via the API route, so I'm switching to it wherever possible. Now let's look at the two-person video group workflow. Both samplers use the same sampler node, but different input data. DreamID-Omni can handle 2 characters with visual and audio input, so you need reference image 1 and reference image 2. Character portraits. For best results, use 1 by 1 square images with close-up shots, like the examples from ByteDance show. For audio reference, anything within 10 to 15 seconds works fine. It doesn't matter if it's a second over, as long as it's clear and short enough for the AI to reference. That's what works best so far. Now for instructions, how we tell the character what to speak. This has a specific structure. Let's go back to the one-person case first. We have a tag for the reference image. In the frame, the woman with brown long hair is identified as subject 1. Remember this. With Omni-style models, whether it's DreamID-Omni, ClingAI, or other image-to-video editing Omni systems, you use text tags for everything. When you attach a reference image or video, you tag it. That's how you tell the AI what you're referencing. Same concept here. So, subject 1 refers to image 1's character. Then, you have capital S and capital E. That's your start and end bracket for speech. Whatever text falls between those tags is your character's dialogue. You have 3 sections in your text prompts. First section identifies the subject and objects. Second section describes actions in the video scene. Third section, or sometimes second, handles audio. Speech lines, background sounds, sound effects. This is the format for DreamID-Omni custom nodes. Here's a one-person example I just generated. Looking at the computing log, you'll see it first offloaded the text encoder, identified single-person sampling mode, preloaded all files to check they exist, then moved to the sampler part where it input generation parameters. Our text prompt for instructions, the reference image, and reference audio. The frame width and height dimensions come from the research paper defaults, so I'm sticking with those for output. For the solver, that's our sampling method, it defaults to UniPC. I've tried the others, and the difference isn't huge. Sometimes UniPC actually looks better. Sampling steps work as usual. You pick your numbers. Now let's talk about shift and scale settings. The 5.0 shift is the default WAN 2.2 pipeline setting. For video guidance scale and audio guidance scale, I've tried other numbers. But the frame count affects things too. If you're generating longer videos, you'll need to adjust those values. That's why I haven't hard-coded frame numbers. The research paper shows 5 seconds as the standard measurement. Honestly, this feels like that Iron Man suit they built in a garage. Functional but not polished. It's nothing like the sleek interfaces you see in ClingAI or other commercial models. This is pure academic research, showing you can apply WAN 2.25b models with audio and video reference similarity. The character was generated with WAN 2.2 text-to-image back in 2025. I just used it for testing. See how the character style closely matches my reference image? The facial identity is about 90% inherited into the output video character. Pretty solid. Now let's check the audio with this one.
This is kind of fun. I can talk in front of the camera now. This is kind of fun. I can talk in front of the camera now.
The audio's kind of unclear, but it followed our prompts for the character's speech line. It's not crystal clear because audio isn't top tier for avatar speaking. But it did follow the audio reference. I used this female voice from an MP3 file. Compare this to our output.
This is a testing speech for Skyreel's V3 talking avatar. So, let's try with some emotion.
This is kind of fun. I can talk in front of the camera now. This is kind of fun. I can talk in front of the camera now.
The voice tone and character voice match, but the output from audio isn't top quality. It's okay for academic purposes. We can see the implementation matches what we see in Seedance 2.0, ClingAI, and other commercial AI. They were inspired by research projects like this. This research project, DreamID-Omni, shows you can do image and audio reference like Seedance 2.0 or ClingAI. But here's the catch. It's still that garage-built prototype. Nothing like the polished, user-friendly interfaces you get with commercial tools. Now, let's generate the second one, the two-person speaking video. This uses both characters' audio and video for referencing. Generation time will be different for you. I'm using an RTX 6000 Pro, so no problems. But if you're low on VRAM, I'd suggest testing with FP8. For my generation, the last one took about 1 minute 57 seconds with 20 steps. But the most time-consuming part is the denoising of video combined with audio decoding. That takes the longest. Even in the original custom nodes repo from Running Hub, they show decoding taking the most time. Here's the 2-character output. Since I had everything loaded and didn't offload the diffusion model, the decoding was actually pretty fast this time. After the first run following ComfyUI startup, decoding ticks along much quicker. Check this out.
Your smile holds 1,000 stories.
Perhaps one of them is about you.
Your smile holds 1,000 stories.
Perhaps one of them is about you.
Your smile holds 1,000 stories.
Perhaps one of them is about you.
The first character's lip syncing is still okay, but the second character starts showing some flow issues and mouth morphing. Again, this is research-grade stuff. But overall, the prompt adherence is great. How the 2 characters dress, the background, everything follows the text prompt perfectly. Their speech lines are also followed well. No extra words or injected sounds. I've seen LTX add hallucinated dialogue sometimes, but not here. And actually, let's talk about the history here. To really understand how we got here, you need to see the evolution. DreamID series has always focused on character visualization. The first attempt, DreamID-Phi, used image reference for character identity, transforming or transferring characters into videos. That was with WAN 2.1 and the 1.3 billion parameter models about a month ago. That's the development evolution, each version building on the last. After DreamID-Phi with the 1.3 billion models, they moved to WAN 2.25 billion models to make it even better for audio and video. For a proof of concept, this research paper works. It passes. They showed they can do it. Obviously, ByteDance isn't going to release that garage-style Iron Man suit to paying users. They've done tons of optimizations based on this research, making it higher performance, better video quality, and better character fidelity in Cdance 2.0. That's why I've been following this project for so long. When they published the research paper, I could see the pattern. How big tech companies start with small research projects, put together little pieces like DreamID-Omni, and eventually gather all these small projects into bigger AI models. That's the hint of how they develop official commercial projects. They start small, iterate, then scale up. DreamID-Omni is really for research and academic purposes only. The character fidelity is impressively close to the references, like 90%, but I won't recommend this model for production. Don't overthink it. This is way below production-grade video quality, but it's a great experiment. For me, trying out how to implement the pipeline, understand it through the implementations, and modify the ComfyUI custom nodes, breaking down the pipeline, the attention modes, all that, has been super valuable. And here's the cool part. Even as an individual user, if you're interested in using existing models like WAN 2.25b and modifying the pipeline yourself, you absolutely can do it to create audio and video reference generation like this. So yeah, that's DreamID-Omni. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day. See ya.